My name is Samuel Onolaja. I am with the Riley Avak team. Thanks to Budweiser for having us make an analysis based on the data set given to us. It's such a big privilege. Today, myself and my team, Amber Clark and Eric Romero, we started off by analyzing the number of breweries in the state, and we decided to put this in a map to have a graphical representation of what it looks like. So this map visualizes the thickness, the thickness of the colors determine how highly concentrated each state are in number of breweries. And we can see for Colorado, which is very thick in red, we can say Colorado has the highest number of breweries, followed by California, then states like Missouri and Texas. And for the ones that are really light, like white in color, we can say they have a very little number of breweries present in the states. We made this other graph to have another form of representation of the number of breweries in each state, and by this we can tell exactly what number of breweries is that we have in each of the states. And we can see Colorado has the highest number, and we can see states like West Virginia has the lowest number of breweries. So we moved forward and we decided to address the missing value in our data set. We discovered during our analysis that feels like ABV and IBU has missing values, and 62 ABV has 62 number of missing values, while IBU has 1005, which make 4.4% of the whole of the data set. That is, we have 95.6 data present in our March data set. So moving forward, we decided we're going to take out the missing values so that we can have a clean data for a better analysis. So here on this slide, we decided to calculate the median alcohol by volume, which is ABV for each of the states. And here we can see there is not much of variances in between the states, and we can see the state with the highest number of ABV is Colorado, and we can see West Virginia as well, and we can see a state like Utah and Arizona comes up with something like the lowest ABV median value. So on this, sorry about that. So for the IBU, we decided to calculate the median value as well, and we can see a lot of variances in here among the states. States like West Virginia comes up with a lot of bitterness in the alcohol unit, and states like Arizona comes up with very low. Arizona, Kansas, and I think Missouri comes up with a very low bitterness. And unlike the ABV, we see a lot of variances in between the states when it comes to the median IBU value. So on this slide, we made a summary statistic of the ABV value. During the process, we discovered that the mean value is slightly higher than the median value, which shows some kind of right skewedness in the data, and this to us means the alcohol content is not as strong. We can say the alcohol content which is decreasing by state. If you look closely, you can see we have an upward bend at the end of the plot, and we can see that is some kind of skewedness as well, and the discontinuation at the end of the plot as well shows some kind of outliers. So this graphical representation shows us we have a right skewedness and outliers for the summary statistic of ABV. Coming down here, we decided to look for the highest and highest ABV and IBU value by state. We come up with Colorado having highest ABV value of 0.128, and Oregon having an IBU value of 138, 138. So we made this into a graphical representation so we can at least be able to present it to people so that they can have a graphical representation of it. So here we decided to look for the relationship between ABV and IBU value. We want to see if they have a relationship. And the plot on my right hand side, we can tell there is a strong relationship. They have a positive relationship. And at an R-squared value of 0.5, we can tell, and the line, we can tell they have a good and positive relationship. So we come down to there and we decided to make a KNN statistic. So this statistic shows our KNN classifier, which had an accuracy of 82%, identifying two major styles of IPA, and I think the other two slides are too small in comparison to show an obvious grouping. So we went ahead and decided to knock it out by making a correlation by region to see the relationship between the ABV and IBU by region. And we can see here that even with the R value of 0.7, they have a good relationship. So we decided to lump it up by showing a correlation between ABV and IBU value by region, and we made this into 4 different plots. As you can see, we can see they try to have a positive correlation. This is for the central region, and this here is for the eastern region. Although this shows a little bit smaller correlation. This is for the mountain region, and this is for the Pacific region. So this is for our KNN charts. And so in summary, making this analysis, we bring out the data, the true data set given to us, which are breweries and beer. We've sought out the state census data we use ourselves, and we started by making an exploratory analysis on the data set. We identify areas that they are underserved, and we check for the variability of alcohol content and bitterness, and make recommendations how improvement can be made. We see during this process of analysis that there's a positive relationship between ABU and IBU value, and our other observation is that the higher the ABV value, the higher the IBU value, and we can see from our observation that the ABV is much higher on the west coast compared to, and lower on the east coast. So moving forward, we would like to make further analysis so we can show so Budweiser how improvement can be made with this data set. The table provides us for limited analysis, but then we can check for the popularity of each style by state. We can research if state or local laws dictate ABV, and we can check for if there is any special ingredients to that variety of hops or malts used in brewing. Thank you very much.